Hello, everyone. So this week's video, we learned how to simplify radicals. And in doing that, we listed all of the factors of the number under the radical to find the largest perfect square that you can divide by. I gave you this assignment on delta, so I wanted to show you just a little bit of a cheat code on how I do this. So instead of listing factors, what I did was list my perfect squares all the way down to, or should I say up to 225. You could keep going if you get bigger numbers, but since I have 224, I know that I'm going to be done there. So what I'm going to do instead is start dividing the number that I have by my list of perfect squares, starting with the largest one possible. Now, I know I can't divide 224 by 225 because that's too big. So I'm going to go to the next one, which would be 196. So 224 divided by 196 and see if I get an integer. I don't, so that one's no good. 224 divided by the next one, 169. Doesn't work. 224 divided by 144. No bueno. 244 divided by 121. And I'm just going to keep working my way up until I find one that gives me an integer. Now, this may seem like a long process, but sometimes you get the number right away, and sometimes you have to go pretty far into it. But I still think this takes shorter than listing all of the factors. Okay, and that took me all the way up to 16, but when I got here, this was the first perfect square that I was able to divide this number by to get an integer, which means I'm going to split this into 2. Okay, and the perfect square goes first, 16, and the number that I got with it would be 14. And then you would break it down. The square root of 16 is 4, and the square root of 14, or radical 14, would stay the same. So that would be your final answer. Now, when you're doing this on Delta Math, you have to do it guided. It has to go step by step. So I'm going to put our focus onto here now. 224, we know that the number we got here was 16, so you're going to put 16 in that box. And click over here and do 14 and see if it works. It does. And then we take the square root of 16, which we found to be 4. 14 will stay the same. And we're all set. All done. And that's how you do that. Okay?